We would be honored if you would join us.
And who might you be?
You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder. I love you.
I know.
Hello and welcome to Frozen in Carbonite. I'm Darth VS and I am presenting another Solo Star Wars LCG game. This time, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be playing some Hoth and some of the new Hoth that I've brought into the game. So we have our Dark Side Navy deck. I've already set up the decks and the fate and the command and the hand cards for those, so they're all set, and I've selected my objectives, so all I've got to do is pull off the Navy objectives and draw my hand. So for now I'll start by selecting the Navy objectives and we'll leave it as a surprise as to who's up against what. We'll be using the experimental affiliation cards that I've got going. So the Imperial Navy, they're running their return to Hoth and they put theirs on side B, which gives them 2 resources and 1 additional Hoth objective. And I'm running the Battle of Hoth, where I'm the Rebel Alliance, and I will have just the 1 resource, but each of my Rebel Hoth objectives I control gains influence, and I can flip that over during the game, and so can the dark side. So we'll see if that has any interaction as we play. Right, so all I've got to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is draw my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. As you've probably seen from my previous game, if you've watched it, things do get a little cramped on here. I'll try and keep it down as best I can. Ooh, some interesting cards here, and got resources, got characters. I'm gonna play this. Keep that hand for now. Right. So for the big unveiling of the dark side objectives first. So I'll be up against Sabotage in the Snow. So that is a limit 1 objective reaction after your conflict phase begins. Move 1 shield from a target enemy card to a target friendly card. Ooh. Blizzard Assault. Reduce the cost of the first walker unit you play each turn by X to a minimum of 2. X is the number of Hoth objectives you control. Oh my, so they can actually reduce potentially to 4 because I've given them a great start having that affiliation card out. And the General's Imperative, while this objective is undamaged, your reserve value is increased by 1. That is going to be interesting. So I probably need to remind myself about what happens when the reserve goes up. I believe they get an extra card in their hand. Whether they get an extra card in their fate is another thing. So whilst I don't want to sort of stop the video just to go check, I'll play it for now as that they'll get an extra card in their hand and in their fate deck on their refresh. It seems more fair, but I'm hopefully going to turn it off pretty quick, so we'll see what happens. Right, so that's those guys, right, and they're going to have to be off to a great start, which is worrying. So what am I running? So I'm running one of the new objectives, a hero survival. So it's got a bit of text on, but it's the basically Hoth Luke, and it does stuff when the so reaction after the force phase begins. On your turn, damage a non-vehicle unit you control to gain +1 force icon to the force struggle, limit 1 per turn. And the reaction after you win a force struggle, remove 1 damage from a non-vehicle unit you control. So bonuses for winning the force struggle. Then I've got sensors are placed. So this is one of the new replacement ones. So this is while you control 3 or more Hoth objectives, your opponent must place his first card in his edge stack battle face up. So that will go off because I will control 3 Hoth objectives because I know what I've got coming next. So previous version is you had to have more, so you're always fighting this Imperial thing. So when you were doing frenetic battle, this never really went off some of the times. And now we've got Heart of the Rebellion. So this is Princess Leia 1. While you control 3 or more Hoth objectives, this objective gains reaction. After you win a force struggle, draw a card. So I want to be winning the force mainly because I can do all this cool stuff. But as you may have seen from the previous Solo LCG game, winning the force can be very difficult. So I am not fancying my chances. But I know I'm going up against a deck that's got a lot of some high cost units. I'm hoping that's going to drain their resources out so that they're not playing too many units. I'll see if I can get the upper edge on them that way. Right, so that's the objectives done. It's now time to start the game. So Navy goes first, and they will be starting. Nothing on the balance. Refresh face. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they'll be starting with 5 resources. So there's their resources. And then away we go. Let's start drawing from the hand. Right. So their reserve value is increased. So technically they do get a draw pile. So what I can do is I will put 1 on there and 1 on there. Shuffle this up. And let's see what they get. Right, so first up they have Blizzard 1. So the first Walker unit play each turn is reduced. No, reduce the cost of the first Walker unit you play each turn by X to a minimum of 2. X is the number of Hoth objectives. So they've got 4, so I can reduce it to minimum 2. So basically we're paying 2 for Blizzard 1. Great. Alright, next up we have a Battle of Hoth. Alright, so that goes on there. That's not a good edge card I want them to have. Next card is Blizzard Force ATS Platoon, and that costs 3. That's another one. That is one of the new cards from the new Walker set, and he's a bit of a beast as well when he gets going. So those are the 2 units. Apparently I do need to draw another card just in case it's a 0 cost card. It's not, it's General Veers, so he'll go back. We don't have enough money to pay for him, thank God. And right, so now it's time to go to the Force phase. There's no attacking, so Force phase. Blizzard 1's got the most pips, so he'll go on it, and they will win the Force by 3. Interesting thing is going to be deciding who goes on attack and who goes on defense, seeing as they are both attacking type of units. But we'll come to that when we get to the next round. Right then, my turn, and it's looking a little bleak out there already. We've spotted the Imperial Walkers. It's time to get the hell out of here and evacuate. Right, so what we've got in our hand, we've got Evacuation Code Signal, a Tauntaun, Luke Skywalker, Renegade Squadron, Operative, Echo Base Shield Generator, and the Renegade Squadron. Well, they can't be played, and definitely want to put a unit out. What's a good one? I'm not going to be. I don't want to go in with a 2 cost unit. Ideally, I'd like to get Luke out. I'm not going to be winning. Oh, I could win the Force, technically. Interesting. Right. Tell you what I'm going to do then, ladies and gentlemen, based on this hand. We'll play the Tauntaun for 1. We'll then play Luke Skywalker for 4. 2, 3, 4. Right. So it's going to be a simple quick turn. Right. So Luke is elite, and while you control a Hoth objective, this unit gains action. Deal 1 damage to this unit to return an enhancement from your discard pile to your hand. Haven't done that. Knowing that I had him in my hand, I could have probably done that. I could have ditched one of these and then hurt him to pull it back into my hand and gain the card. I must remember that, but I don't want to kill him off too quick. And he's got interrupt. When this unit is dealt damage, discard an attached enhancement to prevent 1 point of damage for each printed Force icon on the discarded enhancement. So yeah, he's got a lot of things going on there, and we'll see if we can get that going. But for now, we're going to do some interesting janky stuff. So I'm fortunately, while I would love to attack, I'm going to hold out and win the Force and try and take on these when I've built up a bit of a board. So we will trigger after the force phase begins a hero survival. So we will damage Luke Skywalker for 1 to gain +1 in the force. We will commit him. So now we're on 4. Our 4 beats their 3. So we do win the force struggle. Because we won the force struggle, to remove a damage off the target unit, and I get to draw a card. Ooh, Snow Speeder counterattack. Deal 1 damage to each of your Hoth objectives to deal X damage to the target enemy unit. I might just have to do that. That is a good card. Right, so that is the end of my go. We now move back onto the Imperial side. So, dial only goes up to 1. Yay. Right. Refresh, focus, so it's resource time. Do we want to trigger the return to Hoth? I think my special affiliation cards, especially for the dark side in this type of game, isn't going to be beneficial. They're probably going to end up keeping it on one side most of the time. That's why these are experimental. Hopefully look into the community to see if we can make them better or come up with more ideas. So that one's a work in progress, but well, I'm going to use them for now, mainly for thematic games when I'm doing Hoth stuff, but we'll see what. Anyhow, I digress. 5 resources these guys have. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right. Now we check the hands, right? So they've got 4 in here, so I need 1, 2, 3. And because they haven't used their fate deck, I'm not going to replenish that, because I know it hasn't gone below. They've probably got 8 cards in there. Joy. Right, that's the hand done. I hope I don't pull General Veers. Anyhow, let's go. Right, so first card is Decisive Victory. After an enemy objective is destroyed, discard a target enhancement. Right, well, that's one going to stay in limbo for a while, so I might have to keep that over here, and we'll have to remember that because it takes too much space. So spending 1 for that. And the next card is a Wampa. Reduce the cost of this unit by 2 for each Hoth objective in play. Well, that means he comes in for free. Great. That's not good for me. Alright, next up we have, oh blimey, ATS Assault Formation. This is not good. Right, so this is already reducing it by, because I've got 4 Hoth objectives to a minimum of 2, so this bad boy is coming out for 2. That is scary. Furthermore, they can still draw more and play cards, so that's probably the first time I've ever seen the assault formation be played, and they can still play cards. Right, and then we got target maximum firepower. Great, another card. Right, that was one that will probably go off more than likely. So actually, these events are likely to be used. Right, still got 1 resource. This is not looking good. And General Veers. Unfortunately, lucky for me, they can't afford to pay him. Does have a pilot cost of 2, and the rules state if you want to do, you should try and put them in as pilots. Luckily, they only have 1 resource left, so I think I've got away with that one. But it is not looking good. So that's the end of the deployment phase. Here we go. Right. Attacking and defensive units. Well, now that's made things very different. So obviously the ATA assault formation is going in, and I think, seeing as the most blast, even though this can gain extra blast, is that we put Blizzard 1 in, and then these 2 stay back on the defense. We have a 50-50 split. Right. So these 2 have to go in at the top objective, so they will be attacking a hero survival. I don't think it's going to be lasting very long, and I don't think there's much I can do to stop it. potentially, unlikely that this one will go off, use his reaction, so because his reaction is after this unit's focused strike, instead of resolving its combat icons, discard a target participating unit without an enhancement on it. Ooh, that really puts me off from defending, because they could get rid of my Luke straight away. So I get the feeling this is going undefended, and I'm going to lose an objective quite badly. Right, so these are going to go in. I am not going to defend because it's futile, and I might as well, as the way I've been playing it, I'm going to give the dark side the opportunity to play fake cards. So go to the trusty table, which I can never remember, and they roll a 4. Well, that's definitely one in there. I know that they've got one more. It's evens, and they're passing, so they're only putting the 1 in. Why can it never happen when I'm actually fighting? So they put their in, and it's about the Hoth. Thankfully, may deal 1 damage or remove 1 damage from a target Hoth objective. Well, that's not great. So they're likely going to deal. So as per the rules, they'll deal damage to the first one. Only unfortunate thing with dark side damage is the damage rolls over. That's another part of this game which is going to be tough to get on, because when you have heavy hitters like this, the damage is going to be tumbling. So I got another feeling I'm not going to be lasting long in this game. So let's strike with the highest cost unit first, and it's going to be, oh, and I forgot the shields. Don't forget the shields. He's got shielding, but he hasn't. Strangely, interesting. Walker without shields. Right. So he will strike. When his unit is focused to strike, deal 1 damage to each enemy Hoth objective. Lovely. 1, 2, and 3. I might actually take 2 objectives out this turn. And then he deals his bomb. So there goes the first one. Boom. Right. So let's get these events out then. Divisive victory. After an enemy objective is destroyed, discard a target enhancement. Technically, it can't go off, but the reaction has happened. Could just keep it in limbo. Answers on the postcard on that one. And strangely, this one does go off target maximum firepower. Reaction. After you resolve a strike, immediately strike again with another ready participating unit you control, which would be this one. So he strikes, and he'll be doing 2. No point doing his reaction because it doesn't go off. So he'll be doing his damage rolls over. Alright. As for unopposed, I'm going to say unopposed, it will only work on the one they are attacking. And seeing as they have completely destroyed that, then it would be unfair to run unopposed, let the unopposed roll over onto that. So that's my own little house rule there. Disagree if you like with that one. So he needs 2 focus because he is on the force. Alright, so let's just take a minute here. Dial will go up to 2, and this one is a goner. Alright, didn't last very long. Alright, everyone shuffles up. I forgot to trigger sensors of place for them to put that up in their extra. Not that it would have made much of a difference anyway. But here we go. Right. And yeah, so they're focused and out. And everything is done. Got these 2 to defend. And it's force time. Right, so technically they're going to put second unit on the force, and I guess it's going to be, would be highest pips and then highest count, so it's going to be the assault formation. I wouldn't worry once another 3-pip card comes out, he'll probably get off the force later. I don't think it's going to even last that long to get that far. Anyhow, right, dark side turn is over, and it was not good for us, so they win. Well, actually, did they win the force? Now they've got 5. I've got 3, and I lost my thing. So, damn, I'm going to lose the force by 1. That's actually more than that. Yeah, no, I've lost the force. Couldn't win anyway. I can only get up to 4 if I had my other objective. Stop kidding yourself, Anton. Right, they're done. let's move on. Right, so I will refresh because there is no balance damage. Wish there was. And then we will draw a new objective, which is hiding under here. It's another Heart of the Rebellion. So technically, all my objectives don't do anything now because I'm in such a bad state for not being able to win force. Right. I'm now put off from playing Snowspeeder counter-attack because the amount of issues it's gonna cause. Makes me wonder, I should have played Echo-based shield generator knowing that they were going to come and lay down the hurt. It's probably too late now, but seeing as it's still early game, I could probably just lose them. It's probably going to take them another 3 objectives to actually get it up there, but I really need to deal with these guys. Right. We need to do something vital. So first off, I'm going to ditch Renegade Squadron Operative. While it'd be nice to have a Chud on the defense, it's a bit futile at the moment. Ideally, I'd like to get more focus tokens on the assault formation, but he's got a shield, so I'm going to need these 2 focus tokens there. I would need 1 more to lock him out, and I've still got to contend with these 2. Not good. Right, so I've discarded 1, let's draw 2. Right. Interesting. Okay. So she can come in for free. And that is a good defender because he has guns. Right, so if he costs 2 and I've got 5, that means I can play 3 cost stuff. I'm not going to have much for her edge. Right, I'm going to play Evacuation Code Signal because it's going to be vital to try and keep me in the game. So that will cost 2 off the bat. So just in case you don't know, Evacuation Code Signal is one of my new cards. Its reaction: after you lose a force struggle, damage this enhancement. Then if this enhancement has 3 or more damage on it, return it to your hand to reduce the Death Star by 1. Probably going to need that. Probably should have played that first turn, knowing what was going to happen in this game. Heidi ho, right. I'm going to trigger the Echo-based Technician's reaction, so put this into play from your hand to target a damage Hoth objective and remove 1 damage from that objective. That one, just because I can. That's 1 down. Just need to find more things. Right, I just thought about playing. Yeah. Let's do this then. I'm just going to have to wait for Renegade Squadron to... Whilst I would love to have Renegade Squadron out there, I'm going to really need more people. So I'm going to play an Echo Defender for 2. Just a Tauntaun and that. And then I'm going to play Risky. Right, who's the bigger threat? The Wampa or the Blizzard Force ATST? Whilst I'd love to get these guys out, just going to be able to soak the damage. Feel bad, I'm going to have to use this on a Wampa. Then again, he's going to get his shielding on, and that can be disastrous as well. Tell you what then. Ooh, no point doing it on him. He would be interesting too. Right. Let's get rid of this guy. Alright, so I'm going to play Snowspeeder counter attack for 1. I'm going to destroy this guy, so I need to put damage on each of my Hoth objectives. So 1, 2, 3. And he goes bye-bye. Right, so now I've only got 1 defender. And now I've got 3 objectives that I'd really like to help get rid of. And right, I'm going to be going up against a Wampa. Shame I don't have an enhancement out, because if only Luke had his lightsaber, then I could get away with getting hurt by a Wampa and coming back out of it alive at the other end. Oh, what to do? Luke's my only guy with bombs. I'm going to have to do something. I can't wait. There's not going to be enough turns left. Really need to find my lightsaber. He's lost it in the snow. Alright. Problem is, they've got a really good fate hand as well. How am I going to win the edge? I don't know. Still got 5 on the force. I can't even take the force either. And that was always the problem with some of the Hoth stuff as well, that I couldn't mitigate with some of the changes. There was just some low force pips all the way through. To attack or not to attack? Can I get some damage done? No, it might just be worth holding onto my cards and hoping that I can defend and taking some damage out. But they're going to come back at me full-fold with another turn of evilness. Luke being on the force isn't the best idea either. Right, going to have to make a decision. Hell, let's just do it. Keep these 2 back. Luke's going out and he's going to attack the General's Imperative. Need to get some damage done. Right. So they will defend with the Wampa. Right. I have no edge, so spittling out. Right, I'm going to bung that card in. They have to put theirs in first, one face up. Let's hope I roll a 1 so they don't put anything in. 6. Right. So they put a Blizzard Force ATST. Right, interesting. Right, I'm going to pass. Oh, I know I've not got that beat at the moment. I'm really hoping for a 1. Yes! No flukes here. Right, so they passed. I've got 3, they've got 1. I win, yay! Fortunately, I'm still going to get hurt. But I'm going to do some damage. So I will strike. Do folks tokens, and I'm going to do 2 damage to the Wampa. Whoop. And I'm going to do damage to the General's Imperative. If only could have done more. Now I'm going to wish I would have gone in with someone else. What do you know? Right, unfortunately, Wampa will strike back and hurt me for 2. Poor Luke. And he had his lightsaber. Beating myself. Right, so start squeezing everyone up in this tight board space. So that's the end of my conflict phase. And it is not good. I've got 1 card left for defending, and it's Renegade Squadron, which could really do getting out to control the force and helping with some jank. It's not there. Right. Not going to win the force phase, unfortunately. Because I didn't win the force phase, and I lost, I'm going to damage this. Got 1 on there. Actually, one of these should have had a focus token on, because I played 1, 2, 3. Four, 5. No, I do have spare resource. I did have a spare resource. I'm getting so confused. I'm so rusty with this game. Right, so that's that done. Dark side 10. Dial goes to 4. Refresh. Shield disappears. It comes off easily. Great. Wampus free. Oh, the Wampus should have gone on the force. No, because it was my turn. Wampus didn't go on the force. No one comes out, the one that goes on the force this turn. Right, resources, still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But with one already in the reserve, they got 6. Could be another 80-80, that's all formation coming down. Right, so checking the hands, how many is in the fate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So technically, whilst I should shuffle that up now, they in general, imperative is switched off. I'm not getting 7 cards, right? They've got 3 in here, so 1, 2, 3. Shuffle this up. Go. Right. Here we go. First dark side card is Orbital Resupply Station 4-1. Like they needed to make anything cheaper. Right now. Down here. So enhanced player reduce the cost to play each Navy vehicle unit with a printing cost of 4 or higher by 1. With that out there, they're reducing it so much anyway. Right, next card is one of the new cards for Repulsor Tank, costing 2. It's a speeder. And it's got shielding, and during an engagement, I've actually changed the wording on this card, so I need to get it printed out. It sacrifices this unit to deal 1 damage to a target participating enemy unit. Joy. Why do I make these cards? Right, next card is the General is finally turned up. So he will go on Evil Pilot. Obviously Blizzard 1 is going to be, so he's going to come in and for 2. So each walker unit you control gains elite. Lovely. What we always wanted. Reaction after enhanced walker unit resolves a strike in which it triggered its printed reaction. Resolve that unit's combat icons. Like they needed any more help. And we're still 2 resources in there. Got the 80. So he's coming in for, he's reduced to 3 and then he's reduced to a minimum of 2. So he's coming in for 2. This is getting crazy. Right. Now then, time to divvy up. I don't think this could actually potentially end right now. I get the feeling, the way the rules are and the way this is going. Oh, and I've got one more because they could possibly play it. Right, no, they can't play that one. So, how would we divvy these up? Well, he's got tactics and nothing else. So he's a defender. The Wumper's obviously a defender. And now we've got these 3 guys. He's definitely an attacker. He's the more likely attacker because he's got black damage. In fact, all 3 of them could attack. Now I'm trying to remember, when you've got this type of split, how does it go? Does it go more in defense or more in the attack? I may have to read up the rules again, but with it, let's be thematic and say, right, the Imperials are all out attack, so these 3 are going to attack and these 2 are going to defend. I am going to have to attempt to defend because I really need to negate their draw pile, even though I know I've got hoping he's gonna die. But in fact, if he's going to die, what's the point of defending? To be honest, what is the point of defending? I might as well use him on the attack and try and, even if I get that far. Yeah, I'm in a really bad spot here with these guys. These guys coming out so much blast, and I have no this deck I've built with the rebel heroes, and them it's just not going to cut the mustard against these walkers. So these guys attack. Let's start rolling for their fake cards if they want to really put any in. So first roll is no. They are passing. So they're just like they know they're going to win. So they don't need to put any in. Right. So as per usual, strike in the way it is, and once again I forgot the shielding because they are attacking. Boom boom. Right. So this bad boy shoots. When this unit is focused to strike, deal 1 damage to each objective. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, these are all going down. These are all going down now. Right. And he strikes for 1 here. That one goes boom. And he's got 2 here. That one goes boom. So what's that now? So we've lost. We're up to 6. Up to 9. And then it doesn't really matter, does it? And this guy strikes, and his damage rolls over to here, so he does 2. And then this guy strikes, and he does 2. Boom. And that sends the dial to 13. That is game over, and that ended pretty quick. And I didn't look like I had a hope in hell's chance. These walkers have definitely gotten a lot stronger. Whether they got super strong because of my objective, but the objective I gave them, which gave them a +1, but they have the opportunity of starting with 5 resources anyway. But that Blizzard Assault one has really did give them a boost, and I think in this the context of how it plays in solo, see, you would never be putting these guys on the force. So technically, in a normal game, they probably wouldn't be winning the force, because no Dark Star player would want to put these units on the force because I want them to be dealing a lot of damage. So I would be able to slow it down that way. But the amount of firepower that came out, and maybe I didn't make the first optimal play, but I was really up against it from the beginning, so it didn't really make a difference. I think I'll have to try another Hoth game quite quickly then, but for now I'll end this video here. If you saw the Imperial Might, maybe I'll try one of the other Imperial Hoth decks, but unfortunately it was not a good showing for the Rebels. I barely made it into my deck, didn't get to show off any of the new stuff, and it was over before I even had a chance to alert to send the evacuation code signal. So, oh, thematic, I guess. Anyhow, thanks for watching again. Like I said before, anyone's got any suggestions of any decks they want to see, I don't mind. I'll build decks around anyone's ideas and get to show them off, whether it's new cards, old cards, all sorts. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.